Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US tech stocks. We may have a look at the banking sector as well, and we're going to have a look at the SP and the Nasdaq in a bit of detail, and look at some optional sort of wave count. So with the S&P here, we've got this from the low here as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4. Now I have to say the wave 4 here is rather small compared to wave 2 here. Now the banking sector dragged this the S&P down here, where the Nasdaq count to the upside is a little bit different, but at the same time I need to basically weave them into the same count, because obviously when they do have a serious top up here, or a row of serious tops, they're going to basically on an intraday basis going to stick together and move together. So but this is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, but leaving wave 4 at this point. But my problem with this is that wave 4 is just a little bit small at the moment. This is the Nasdaq count here, where we have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and a 3, 4, 5, and leaving the wave 4 here. And it will take about, if this is correct, it'll take about another month to get to the top here, and then we'll have wave 4 and 5, and so a bit of a churning at the top here before we go further up, and it will be eventually around this old high here in that regard. So yeah, same over here as well. The 5,000 is, well, the number 5 is the second strongest number in regards to the trading levels, 1, 5, and then 8. So I think that, you know, we didn't quite get to 5 here, but the reality is that it reacted from this level here. You know, and normally we look for 5 waves up through to here. So in a way, in terms of the basic patterns that we look in for the market at levels, let me just get this image set in the frame here. So this is the basic pattern. So basically we've reacted from this particular level, in this case 5,000. So we've reacted from here. We're moving up here. We'll look for 5 waves up here, and then we'd have a correction over here, and then we go up again. It's the normal process of migrating from being resistance to support over here, and this is the sort of the battleground that takes place in all of that. There's 3 different types of patterns that can occur at the levels, but we're working with this one because it reacted at this level here. So this is going to be a very hard slog up here, you know, and you know that all the economists dithering and withering about you know, what the Feds will do, and the Feds don't even know what they're doing, and you know, they need more data and all the rest of it. So there's basically that story, or that confused narrative would be perfect for the top up here, everybody looking at each other and you know, just causing a mess. So anyway, on to the daily chart here. We need to talk about this wave 4 here a little bit. So on the daily chart here, there's 2 things we need to talk about. First of all, we can view the market as a wave 4 here and moving to the upside. Now, it's also possible, if we talked as well, having wave 4 over here, bit low at the 38.2%, and this would be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up there for the B wave here. And it has rallied quite high. You know, that's about probably, you know, above 85%, but it is the supply zone coming into the 5,200. So this is where it's going to struggle here. So over the next few sessions, we're going to see it continue to creep there, and I can see that it's in a bit of an issue there. It's opened where it's closed basically on this particular chart. I'll just have a look where we can get the volume from this. So we can see that it basically closed lower, but also on lower volume than the previous day. So that tells me that this is part of a little corrective pattern here. And this possibility of having the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave down here is still quite evident as an ABC to here, or an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here. So it's not, we're not past that structure from here. If we just imagine we had 5 waves here, right? Anything above those 5 waves, and then we can remove this B wave and put it back over here. But it still exists here, and it still exists in stocks as well. But the volume here, look, before we got to the 5.2, I said that we're going to have problems there, and we're just working through those issues. So it is still possible to have a wave B sitting here and we'll see some of it. We'll look at this in some of the stocks as well, and down to the 38.2% retracement level here. So we'll just keep playing it. You know, we've got quite a few long positions in different markets at this point, and we've done all the right things at the right time, and we can take a little bit of profit, or we can sort of edge things out a bit, and you know, manage things and do things and all the rest of it. But let's just assume that we're right for a moment, and we're not going to panic that much. Well, then we can look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then further to the upside as, you know, as wave 1. So let's just go into this on the intraday. I shouldn't spend too much time on this because we'll be looking at this in the next video. So let me clean my last week's mess up from here for a moment. There we go. We're looking for some sort of top. I won't worry about it too much at the moment. And I'm just going to go back further here. So go back 1,000 in here. So here we've got this as, you know, that's the wave 4 here for references 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Now that fits quite nicely. We can drag that count into the Nasdaq as well, but the Nasdaq can have a different count, but even this can have a different count too. So if we use the SPY here for a moment and pick it up at this wave 4 and this wave 4 over here, we can go one, and sorry for my mess here, but I'm known to be the messiest chartist on the web. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, you know, and building to another situation up here, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and you know, that type of thing, and keep building it. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. But at the same time, as I say, this can be built up in terms of an A wave here, an ABC, and a B wave here, and a C. So we've got to get past these 5 waves up here before we can, you know, say that we're going to be in this trend for another, you know, month or so, or do we turn down here? I mean, on the Nasdaq here, the move up from the low here as an A wave here, an ABC for the A wave here, the B wave here, and a C wave up here. So this is where it can come down here. So, you know, we're just talking about it. You know, we're looking at all the possibilities, and we'll track them on an intraday basis, and we'll look at them and stock. And, you know, this particular same count here on the QQQ could be counted like this too, with 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and, you know, building up this way as such, you know. So basically there's a variety of counts, okay? And this is, you know, we need to look at them all, and then we need to sort of eliminate them one by one, and, you know, and understand where the risks are and so on. So with the Nasdaq here on the weekly chart, we'll just go straight into an intraday chart here and pick it up a little bit. So we can view it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here for wave 1 and 2 here. This is all a bit of a long shot here, labeling it like that. And we know that it's weak up here at the 18,008. Number 1 is the strongest number, followed by 5 and then 8. So we know 8's a profit-taking number. Well, this is all profit-taking from number 8 over here anyway. You know, we can look at it as an ABC down to here, or we can bring it back over to this point over here and have this as a B wave up here. I mean, the interesting thing is a B wave can actually, in a wave 4, can actually take out the previous high over here. So it makes it even more complicated out of the dozen or 11 or 12 different types of Elliott corrections as well here. But we're just going to continue to chill. But I can tell you from the volume, we're going to be looking at some corrective moves here. We've seen that we didn't see any powerful moves on the Friday. Not really expecting. We're looking for a top, and we've kind of got our top here. The question is here really is that the wave 1 top here, or do we have a little wave 4 over here, and then we go for another little wave 5 to the top here? It's going to get messy, so I'm just pointing out that it can get it's going to get messy here. But what I said last time too is that 18,000, we've got group 1 and group 2 here. That's the swing range. We don't want to make any decisions in here. If you want to take some money off the table, you do it now, or you want to get out, you do it now, right? If you want to stay in, you stay in, or you can just take part profit. In this space space here somewhere. Anyway, we'll move along from that, but I think that's just sort of important to understand. Now, some of the stocks sort of fit into that mold and some don't. So looking at Apple here, in the bigger picture, we've got 3, 4, 5 up here, and looking at this as an A and a B and a C down here. Now, look, the same thing here again. This move here of 1, 2, 3 here at the 61.8% is, you know, it could be an A and a B and a C wave here, and, you know, mosey on down at this point and have a bigger move here, and all this becomes the A wave here, and then the B wave over here, and the C wave here. But we don't need to go there just yet on that, and it does appear to be corrective. We seem to be on the right track here at the moment, but this is the 61.8%, and we're at the number 8 here again, the 1.8. So we're going to see some further consolidation in that. We'll go to the intraday and have a look at this here. So from that low here, excuse the mess, I was thinking that we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here. Now, it's also possible, because this is a bit messy here, we could have wave 4 over here. So if the market's going to push down in the other, because this could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to here, and this would be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave C of 4 here, and then we move up for wave 1 in line with the rest of the markets, and then some sort of wave 2 here, and then we go up again. So yeah, look, it's not going to be that simple. We've got a little bit of pocket money up our sleeves here, so we can take a little bit of risk here. But yeah, if this turns out to be wave 5 or 1 here, which is probably about right, well, then we'll be looking to take some money off at the table here. I just don't know if it's going to push up to the 200 at that stage as well. So we'll just chill on that. Doesn't matter. We'll act where we need to act at the right time. So we can just chill on that. So I don't know about this wave 4 here yet. We know wave 4s can get ugly. So we'll just see how that goes. Otherwise, this is going to be wave 4, and we can just move up into this space here. But either way, it's going to be a bit of a slow old journey. So that's that. And yeah, I'll just talk about the banks for 1 second here. This is Stanley's here. This is also a weekly chart here. What I pointed out before, whichever way you want to look at it, from this top here to here to here, this is a corrective pattern. So we're going to be taking out those tops there. So the move to the upside is still on the cards here. Now, obviously, in this case, we've got 100 here. So we're looking at a classic trading levels pattern here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and an ABC, and then up again. But I'm seeing all the banks sort of doing all the right things here. This is Morgan's here, pushing up as well. Obviously, at the 200 here, large number. It's also going to be the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. In due course, this will be wave 1 and 2 here. This will be 3, 4, 5 up here. It'll take about a month to top, and then we'll have some sort of correction move, and then we'll go up again. Same old story everywhere, really. So that's that. With Amazon here, this is a daily chart here. We've got this wave 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. In the aftermarket, we had a big spike here. I just don't like things that travel weirdly on light volume in off hours. So in counting them, you can include them and they work out all right, or you can just ignore the spike and follow the main traffic. But either way, in this particular case, it does leave, you know, question marks about how this should be counted to the upside. The interesting thing here, I think, though, is that you know, with a lot of the markets that have been moving up, they haven't taken their previous tops out over here, but this one has here. So it's just reacting from the top. So this is, whichever way you want to sort of fry this up, this has still got further to go up here now. Double tops are not the end of the trend. It's just how much it will sort of react. And look, basically because of this spiky thing here, and it's also a little bit messy in here on the intraday. It can be counted in different ways. So this particular intraday chart doesn't show that spike down here that made a new low, and you could put wave 4 over here. You could do a whole lot of things, but I'm going to stay with the main traffic and just go 1 and 2 here. And I've been counting up here as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. I could get another little structure out here, and I could move this wave 4 over to here and put this wave 5 over to here. I could do that sort of thing, or we could be in the ABC pattern here already. I'll just go in and have a look at that little move to the downside. Just check on that for a second. That's the little move here. So really we can look at that in 5 waves of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, or we could look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 because it does got a nice big sweeping third wave here. So it actually could go down further. This could be a 4th wave here. It looks impulsive here, so it could do something like that, and then have that and that and that just for the A wave, and then the B wave here, and then the C wave a little bit further down. So it's possible to have this as the A, the B and the C wave coming down here. So we'll just, now that I can see that, I'll just get rid of that. So it doesn't really matter. Like I said, it's just stuff that we have to move through, you know what I mean? It's so what I'm saying here is that we could have the ABC pattern coming in for this move here, for this wave 2 here. So this can be wave 1 here with a little A wave to come down, the B wave to retest supply, and wave C here, and yada yada yada. It doesn't matter, we just got to sort of move through it. We will be sucked up to this number here, and that's where we can do what we need to do with that at that stage. Nvidia here, so obviously this is a corrective pattern here. This is pretty sort of common across the markets. We've been working through also in the crypto space as well. Crypto space is a little bit slow in moving to the upside from this previous low, but anyway, this is the pattern. Once again, 1 is the strongest number. It doesn't matter if it's 1 cent or 1,000 or 100,000. So it's reacted from this level, so we're going to see a 5-wave move up here, and then another corrective pattern here, and then moving up here. So we're basically getting that same pattern here. The only variation on that is where it doesn't drop down the level, but because it's reacted here, you can be pretty assured you're going to get the rest of it over here. It's not going to be a parabolic move, and this would be more of a parabolic move. So this is the second most common pattern, but it's just not going to be that. It's going to be more like this here. So we're just tracking this move up here. We can make mistakes in all of that, but this move is corrective. Just taking out that top there makes it corrective. So yeah, could it get uglier? Could it turn into a triangle pattern and all that? Absolutely. Wave 4s are a nightmare, you know, so we do need to be careful, but I talked about that with the S&P and the Nasdaq. Let's just cruise into the intraday here, and we're just working our way through it. So just to get reference point, that's here, the wave 4 here. You know, yeah, of course we could count all of this differently. I've got it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 1 and 2 here. I'm looking for 1 and 2 here, just trying to tie it in with the S&P and the NASI and all the rest of it. One thing's for sure here is that this 900 here, which is a medium level, all medium levels are halfway between 2 major levels. So the major levels are basically the Fibonacci numbers as a price ratio. So 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8. And then we use the power of 10. We go back to the beginning again. There's a little bit more to that, but basically we know Fibonacci works in terms of price up and down, so we use it as price itself. It seems to work okay, and it's sticking to the 900 here, so nothing really to do here on that. We could probably put that over, we'll move this entry over to here. We could probably drop it down to here, but you'll probably need to take some heat on this too, because I would imagine that, let's just assume we don't have 5 waves up here. We have an ABC pattern here, so we can certainly come down from this point here. I could put this wave 1 over to here and bring this down here a little bit further, but it's rather messy for a wave 2 to be here, so I won't worry about that. So we'll just look at this being up here, and then we'll see some sort of thing here. Once again, we're in group 1 here and group 2 here. That's the swing range. We do not need to make any rash decisions about exiting anything in this particular market at this point in time. So meta platforms, have got wave 4 here and pushing up here further for, look, you could label this differently till the cows come home, really. There's different ways of looking at this move here, so you could put it to this point here. You could also put wave 4 over here and look at this as an A wave to here, an ABC pattern to here, and then coming down for wave 4 here. I think that's what our man Alessio's got. Let me just check on the site here somewhere, stock charts. Just go in here. Right, so that was Meta. I just want to have a look at Microsoft while we're here as well. It's probably got the same thing here. Just check. Oh, that's a bit weird. Not sure what's happening here, but let's give it another whirl, shell. Stock charts. I'll just have a look at Meta. Yeah, so he's got the same. He's got it here as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave coming down. Let me just check. I mean, and Microsoft would be, he would have the same with Microsoft as well. Yeah, so an A and a B and a C coming. So you could label it like this, you know, as an ABC pattern coming down here. I mean, Alessio does a fantastic job. So he's got wave 4 over here and having this as a B wave here. And we can see that the move up here has got the beginning, which was reasonably perky, and then a nice strong third wave. And then you can see it's struggling here. You know, you can see that it's, the market is what I call where the market is creeping. You get higher, you know, just you get overlapping wave structures here on the intraday. So yeah, we can have wave 4 over here. We have to get past all of this though. Otherwise we can look at this as a wave 3, 4 and then wave 2 here and then moving up. We could also put this over to here and continue to build it up. There's different ways to view it. We just don't have any answers yet. Okay, so it's okay not to know, you know. I mean, at least you know you don't know. You know, that's one way of looking at it. But at the same time, we've done all the right things here. So this wave 4 here on the intraday, we're looking at it as 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 here. I've got wave 1 and 2 here too, so I could look at it. I could look at it as 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4 here, and 5 over here. That would also be in line with the US markets at the moment. And then look at this as wave 1 over here. I'm not that fast, so I'm not going to make a move just yet. We've protected our position here. I've just lifted the stop up a little bit, so we could have this over here. It doesn't really matter at this point. We're just going to hang in there. We're doing all the right things at the right time. This is a 50-60% retracement level. All of this consolidation in here, I actually like it when it consolidates within group 2 here, because what will happen later on, we'll have at the 500 here, we're going to have 10, 20 and 30. That's minor group 1, 50, 1, 2, 3, 5 and then 8 up there, the Fibonacci numbers. But what actually happens here, this group 1 and group 2 will become the swing range in here. So when this moves up here, let's just assume we get something like this here, then this, all of this consolidation in here from this wave 4 here will become the support over here for this. So it's nice to see this here. It's very helpful later on over here for that. So that will be that. And we come to Netflix here. So we've got this as 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 here for this, but it's a little bit early for this. So this market seems to be ahead of the other markets. We could also put wave 4 over here as well and look at this as an A and a B and a C wave here. So you can see the sort of damage. I mean, it's really up here at the sort of 90-odd% here, you know. It's just trying to cover that gap in here for that. But it has sold off a little bit here. Let's just see about this, because most of the other markets should give us a push to the upside and then have this over here. So we'll just see how this plays out. We don't need to do anything just yet. If you want to take money off the table, then this is the area to do it within group 1. But yeah, I mean, it's such a nice wave structure here, you know. But yeah, we are getting overlapping wave structures here, so we're going to see further corrections around this top area here. So we'll just chill until we get a grip on it all. Now, Alphabet is a bit of a different beast than the other markets in terms of its count to the upside. So there's a couple of things here. I could look at this as wave 1 here with an ABC back for wave 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5, and look at this as 1 here and have wave 2 here. It's either that, or we put the B wave here and we come down to the C wave here, and all of this will be one. It'll be like this here, something like this, you know. So not quite sure about that. You know, we've got positions down here, so we can just chill here. We don't need to do much. The trend is still to the upside. I don't have to sort of concern ourselves with that at the moment. And it's in group 2 here as well. So normally when you're working with 150, when the 165 here becomes the support, then it's left this number here, but it has shot up here and it's come back and tested and it's got in here and it's testing it again. So we'll just see how it sits in here. If it doesn't sit, if it finds the resistance in here, like we get some sort of move under here, well then we'll remove these here and we'll be protected by profit over here, because at that point it will come back to this point. But if this becomes the retested resistance, that number, then we'll be moving out. But otherwise, we'll stay until the party ends. This is Microsoft here. So we've got wave 4 over here with wave 1 and 2 here, and then we've been talking all last week. It's been a bit slow, but it's getting there, isn't it? You know, we're getting up there to that particular point. So we don't have a long trade in this particular space here at the moment, but this would be like this here. The other side to this is that when this tops up here, that would be the B wave here, and we'll have the C wave over here, just like Alessio's talking about as well. And there's a good case for that. I get it, you know. But yeah, so I can see that it's moving slow up into here. It's kind of giving you all the red flags, you know. It's all the subtleties that that you get in a relationship, you know. You just, most of the time we just choose to ignore red flags and go on with it. But this is coming into the supply level here, and yeah, it's going to struggle anyway. So it's going to drop. So if you're in this, you know, this is where you want to be sort of scraping some off the top. Okay, so Tesla, we're still looking for this to come down to the 61.8% as the A, the B, and the C here. I have to say I'm sort of getting a little bit concerned. I don't mind the 5 waves up here. I could probably count it corrective. What is sort of haunting me though is that the size of this corrective move here is much bigger in terms of amplitude than this one here, you know, where it shouldn't be. It should be the opposite. Do you know what I mean? This should be, wave 2 should be short and swift here. So it's like his market employers popped his price up, retested 2, and now it's sort of failing. If it drops, once again here, if the 165 here becomes the retested resistance, then we're going to end up seeing this coming back into here. And if it's coming back to here, then it's going to make a new low below here. That's the problem. So we'll see if this becomes the retested resistance here, because if that's the case, then we're going to come under this low down here. Alrighty, that's it really. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.